Hello there. Hello there. Welcome to another of my streams. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh. Okay. Hello again. Welcome to another one of my streams. Right now, well, I know this is just a bit unexpected, but I decided to go ahead and do this pretty unusual stream. I didn't do much to get ready for it. Basically, I started I decided to do this right after the Explain update came out. I know that it won't look like much, but maybe it will give someone some idea if we should update, if if you would have a choice. Should you update to Explain 11.32 or should you not? And well, basically, I'm gonna give you give it a shot to the Explain 11.32 with this TBM, which is actually, I'd say, at this moment the most version sensitive model of all the Explain aircraft. Okay, let's get her ready to fly. Everything seems to be in order. Remove before flight, remove before flight. Load. Same fuel as we had before landing. Pounds here, 20 pounds here. 40 pounds. Right. Okay, this is gonna be our preload for this flight. This is gonna be a relatively short flight to this small airport. To Mercer County in West Virginia. I chose it because it's basically a mountain airport where there's not much of an actual mountains, and because it has IRL pretty cheap JTA, so it's a good bingo field. And this is what we need now. Okay, safety check. Closed. Ignition auto. Everything is off. Fuel cut off. Selector right. Yeah, emergency. This is correct. Okay. So what I already noticed, the frames per second in this version are already just a tiny bit lower than they were on 1131. Maybe that's a one-off, or just an impression. But I have a feel that it actually has to do something with the update. Shh. Easy. Close everything. Come on.
Pause system test. Okay.
Close this. Armrests here. As you can see, it is noticeably lagging, and what is unusual for Explain, these lags seem to be CPU related. Why do I consider that weird? Because generally the last versions of Explain were quite efficient in terms of the CPU, and this makes it a bit unexpected. They were mostly GPU heavy, not CPU. Anyway, I got this thing up and running. Let's start up the engine. Starter. Parking brake, low voltage, auto selector. 24.5. 2 seconds. Easy. 14%. Left tank. Low idle. Strobe zone. Headset. Everything seems to be working as expected. I actually went ahead and tried a short flight with climb in the Eclipse, Airbus Eclipse 550, basically to test out this one thing. The aloft winds that were broken in 332, even for active sky. And as a matter of fact, they actually fixed it. So at least it's not as broken as it was before. Okay, this is running. Cabin access, generator main, mission, boost pump, auto, fuel selector on. Oh, wait, I didn't enable boost pump for the start. Oh wow. We are lucky we didn't catch a hot start. Anyway, turn air conditioning and bleeds. The system panel is working. Battery is charging right now. Alright. One way or another, we have started, and let's program in our flight plan. Menu, flight plan. And great. The EFB app has crashed. Amazing. Sorry guys. I'm gonna fix it momentarily. Maps. Some Discord things. Okay, sorry, I was responding to someone on Discord. Either way, let's punch in our flight plan. This is gonna be capital 1 departure. Actually, let's connect to that scene first. Connected, Xsquad box and plan. PM. CAD. KB. LF. No alternate. Cruise altitude 800. Special VFR. True airspeed something around 50. Not even sure. Departure time 2200. Flight time 1 hour. Fuel for 2 hours exactly. And planned route is gonna be that. Alright. According to what's by, no one is here beside us. Hey Bucky, welcome on the stream. Welcome on the stream. And it seems that some things are actually fixed in 11.32 as it is now, but I'm not positive that everything is okay. What is What is Dulles actual runways active right now? Let's check flight radar 24 for that.
Kilo India Alpha Delta Airport information Juliet 2052 Zulu weather wind 351 at 9 visibility 10 sky condition ceiling 4
9 and 9 conditions 351 at 9 and 2995 995. Runways are gonna be 1 and we're gonna take 1 right for departure. Position vectors. Vectors to can't even really tell. Okay, the radio vectors. Oh my goodness, what's going on? Radio vectors to Casanova, CSN. Hey, 757 Spy, welcome to the stream. It may be another host, but either way, thank you for hosting. We are testing out 1132, if it's broken or actually not. So let's see about that. Right now we're programming in our flight plan for departure from Dallas, from Washington, Dallas, not Dallas, Texas. Hey Dave, so glad to see you on my stream. So let's continue with our flight plan. This is gonna be CSN, then Lord Airway. Lord Airway Victor 140. Victor 140, exiting it at Caster. It's quite a long sequence, but still not very. And then direct to Obers. And Kill Bravo Lima Foxtrot. Guys, I'm noticing some drop on the in the bitrate. Just tell me if you have any kind of issues. I'll try to look into it. Anyway, here's our flight plan. Top altitude at first 300. Set. And let's see again if we have any ATC. No, not yet. Oops. Lagging. Definitely lagging more. Ignition auto. Auxiliary pump auto. Fuel auto. Everything else is enabled. Oxygen not really required because I'm not climbing over. And 100. Flight plan. And let's activate the our first leg to Casanova. Menu. Activate. Close. Interesting. Just to have the reference, we'll activate direct now. Traffic. Two zero one right. What's it? Southwest. Oh, wait. We will tell our direction of flight after actually at the hold chart, so not so critical right now. Okay, let's see if the standby generator is working. It seems to be good. Back to main generator. Fuel system. Why does it say door problem? Oh. Door locked. Okay. Inertial separator zone. My goodness, transponder. Code VFR. Mode altitude reporting. Initial heading, runway heading 010, and let's taxi. Okay, like I said, I already noticed that the frame rates are a bit worse than at least they were on the previous big version on 1131. But again, maybe it's just a one-off, because right now my CPU is at around 70 to 75% load, so might be some kind of update or some internal work of explain. So actually, let's see about that during the flight. The aloft winds are working, as I said already. I tested it out a bit before. So good, they sorted out at least this one. Set flaps to take off. Honestly, generally, if the aloft winds are working and there generally won't be big problems, I would say that the new update is at least usable. Oh, come on. See? I had this before when I had like 12 gigabytes of RAM. Right now I have 24. I thought that this lagging when changing view is in the past. Although actually it might be related to the scenery, because this Washington Dulles scenery is actually seem to be a bit quite a bit hungry for resources. I'd even say unusually hungry for freeware, because yes, it is freeware. Either way, for now, let's get to flying. Let's see how our situation is. No one seemed to be departing before us, so I think we can just go ahead and use the partial length of the runway. So we'll just take this next taxiway and we'll take off from there. Breaking with our reverse thrust. Line lights on, strobes on, source inverter on, everything here is on, the separator on, sensors heat on. Electrical seem to be good. AC blades on. Oxygen not really required. Okay. Traffic. Take off. Take off. Runway 01 right. South west. Departure. The probe to check to test out the governor. The governor seems to be working. Back to flight idle. And taxi for takeoff on flight idle. Enable takeoff guidance on the PFD. Align with the central line. %, 90 knots. 8. Positive rate, gear coming up. Gear up. Your damper is on. Degree bank turn. Downwind. Okay, let's clear ourselves to our cruise altitude, 8,000. Back to Casanova. Nav mode. Level change. Looking good. Thanks, Dave, and good luck with your real world stuff. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hosting, and I hope to see you again. And see ya on our streams, on mine and yours. All right. Just a little bit of turbulence here. Oh my goodness, I forgot to reject the flaps. Okay, now we're actually properly speeding up. Oh my goodness. $180. With the clouds. Look out for the icing. Here's our flight path. $1,000 to go. And we seem to be above the clouds. Note that I'm still can't fly this thing. Alright. Because it's an absolute marvel to hand fly. It's basically a BMW of the aircraft world. A BMW 5 Series of the aircraft world, which wasn't maybe built purely for track, but still a marvel to take it on there. Either way, so far actually so good. Not much changes from what I've seen in yesterday. Let's actually go ahead and enable the autopilot. To fly the plane, and give me just a second to grab some soda, and I will get back to you. Hey guys, I'm back at the flight deck with a refill of Pepsi. Right now we're heading direct Casanova VR, and honestly it seems so far so good. Doesn't look like we have any kind of trouble here. FPS are within acceptable range for X-Plane 11. Well, so yeah, that's what it is. Let's set some range. Actually see things. Enable weather radar. It's installed right now. As you can see, the radar shows us some precipitation right ahead. Let's see how's it in a vertical mode. Okay, gotcha. Synthetic vision seems to be taking some of our frames per second, so let's just go ahead and disable this. Yep, already noticeably better. Quite a bit of a turbulence here. The rain don't seem to, the precipitation don't seem to be too bad. But if we're still gonna avoid it, see what we can do here. Left 20 degrees, left 20 degrees. Heading 245. Let's take heading 225, which is 20 degrees left. This is gonna be our deviation to avoid the those precipitation zones. Interesting if I can enter like interesting. Scan. Right 20, right, within right 20 degrees. Just to have it on our as our reference. The system panels seem to be still working. No icing so far, which is quite an issue. Maybe can. Forgot to input the blending field elevation. Here it is now. I think we can turn back on our course. 2, 4, 5. some reason it was using fuel from the left tank, which was already quite empty, so I switched to the right tank. This button shift, it is this thing, automatic fuel selector. It works this way. When you are in the air, it just switches between tanks every I think 1 minute. So every 1 minute, without every 3 minutes. Every 1 minute on the ground and every 3 minutes in the air. And every time, if you will just switch the tank manually, it will still switch. It will still switch back after the timer goes through the next point. Like if there were 20 seconds left to switch to right tank, and you switch to right tank manually, it will in 20 seconds switch to the left tank. But if you push the shift button, it will switch the tanks and then reset the timer. So right now it's using the fuel from the right tank, and we'll actually use it for quite a while. So yeah, it's really useful. Actually curious if the tilt is working for... Oh my goodness. Okay, no, this is done. And 3 degrees up. It's clear skies. Okay. Back to 0. Still scanning, still detecting some precipitation. Also actually detecting some terrain down there. Since we are coming up on the mountains. Terrain could be disabled now. This is a pretty slow flight for this time, as you can see. Oh my goodness. Here comes the mist. Mist means possible icing. There actually was an icing warning for this route, so we better look out for it. And enable windshield and propeller defog. Yep. See fuel shifter. Let's see if they can catch the moment when it will shift. Interesting, it actually shows the gross weight of your plane right now, so when you are looking up the performance tables, you can actually have the reference. That's quite useful. And we seem to have some traffic down there. that. Unrestricted. Low. Okay. Much on the precipitation field. Actually, go ahead and see what are the actual frames. Something around 20 FPS. Well, I'll take that, I guess. I mean, right now I switched the windows to something else and it already dropped, as you can see. Now I switched back to be for the sim to be focused on explain, and right now it's not dropping below 25. So yeah, it's still generally as it was before. Let's see how much synthetic vision takes from us. As a matter of fact, almost nothing. I'm actually surprised. The time of the flight was actually chosen. Well, I didn't really choose it, but the time of the flight turned out to be pretty good because the sun is still pretty high up, but it's not. But we already see some sunset colors. I honestly like that. Also, not this huge sunshades, sun visors. A big sun visors are a sign of the plane that was actually built around the pilot. If you will look at a lot of business jets, Citation, what else? Well, first of all, Citation, Learjet, some of the Challengers, they have these huge windows that give you good visibility, but not much in terms of the a little airport, but don't really protect you from the sun. What's this? Oh, Charlottesville. Nice. This is Charlottesville. No one is here. Looks like just a little cozy general aviation airport. most likely with the cheap avgas. Anyway, let's get back to fine and not watching the frame rate. Oh my goodness. I really want to make a couple of screenshots right there. It looks so gorgeous. There's another zone of the clouds with quite noticeable amounts of water, so let's try to get around them. $25 right. 25 degrees right. 45, 50, 70. This is gonna be heading 70. 270. Those clouds actually don't look specifically worrying, but most likely they have some icing in them. So let's see, that's quite of a problem if we will fly into it. Far so good. No icing on the wings. Prop and windshield are heated. Okay. Static visions show us the mountains, those very mountains we see just below us. So coming up on the mountains, you can see right now the dark blue areas on the weather on the flight plan go weather display. Here they are. These are the freezing zones. Jump. Of course you can't connect. Obviously we can't. To 78 to 43. 43. 25 degrees. See when we will be able to get back on our course. Actually, go ahead and turn 15 degrees right to 70 to 60 to 55. This weather radar is honestly amazing. Yeah, it looks like we can just rejoin our flight path. Back to nav mode. Wait a minute. Oh, right. I completely forgot. We are right now in the wrong mode. Flight plan. Here we go. Menu. Activate link. GPS. Okay, good. Disable the parent display. Why do I still have an auto sprite room? Actually, I think I'll keep it on. Because of all this stuff. Your cumulative distance display. 115 nautical miles out. Let's actually see. system display still working. It actually does. It actually does. I think we're gonna need the train warnings near the arrival. Because, well, terrain. Here in the clouds we might finally experience some icing. Because I'm really curious what the icing looks like on a TBM. I know that it actually models the ice build-ups and other stuff, but I haven't seen it yet in the actual real situation. So let's actually fly through some clouds. There's our clouds. Interestingly, active skies seem to be overriding the blackout in the clouds. But right now we are flying through the clouds and I don't have this like solid white picture you usually see and explain in such a case. Sorry, I meant white out, of course. Yep, that looks like something that could generate some icing. And some lags. All right. Hmm. Looks like we have a bit of the weather dead ahead, but we should pass it really quick, so I wouldn't worry. Yeah, it seems we're getting quite lucky with the icing. There's just none of it. Things seem to be acting up again. The actual weather radar is actually not in exactly in front of the aircraft. See this little dome? This is actually the radome. It has this tilting antenna, which right now tilts right and left, and we can switch it into tilting up and down, and it does that and scanning the it's scanning the right now the vertical profile for us, and now we can scan the horizon left and right. Hey Major Gang, welcome on the stream. Yeah, the weather is quite nice. The weather is quite interesting. The landscapes are really beautiful. Honestly, I'm glad I chose this route at this exact time. As you can see, it looks absolutely stunning, especially with this slight haze, which I hoped will give us some icing we would have some pleasure to fight, but we don't seem to have any. But yeah. And also 1121 seem to be, sorry, 1132 seem to be working well, good enough. Not much, well, not really worse than 1131. So yeah, I guess it could be deemed usable. Okay. Now we might get some real icing. That looks like a freezing rain, actually. Well, of course, it looks like a warp drive representation, but oh my goodness. Testing, testing, testing. Okay, it seems my either internet or something else is acting up. Sorry about that. I think I'm back with you. Anyway, that freezing rain might have given us some icing on our leading edges and generally on our wings, but it didn't last for long enough. Yeah, Kitten, thank you. I suspected. Actually, OBS showed me that I had this serious what is it called? Bitrate drop. Interestingly, if you don't fly real fast, TBM could be ridiculously efficient. Because now, if we would go at high torque, something like 90%, which is actually generally recommended torque for the TBM, for the high-speed cruise, we would be using something like 94 gallons per hour. But at 45%, like 40, actually 40 to 50, we can go with 55 gallons per hour. Even we can go with 55 gallons per hour at not much worse speed. And actually, at it's at 8,000. So while at around 15,000 or actually 20,000, we might even get something around 30 to 45 gallons per hour, which is honestly impressive for this plane in terms of economy. Sure, it won't be fast. Sure, it won't be as fast as you might used to flying it, but it will take you much further. Actually, long range cruise setting is considered generally something around 45% torque. 45% of the torque. how far away. I plan 68 miles out. Something around 20 minutes. Okay. Let's actually turn on the cabin lights and get some panel lighting, because we are getting a bit on the dark side. Actually, I'm curious about something. If we will turn on the cabin light and enable the dimmer, because I'm still not sure what this dimmer switch does. It says panel light, but it doesn't really change anything. Okay, a little bit of turbulence here. Propeller and windshield, it is running. Yes, still seem to be okay. Yes, that's our kitten and her pants. Beware, she will be, if she will get more active in the chat. There's literally no running from her pants. Trust me, I know. It's some quite dangerous terrain below us. Definitely don't want to descend into this. So somewhere around 200 knots of true airspeed, which is really not bad. I mean, yeah, of course I can reach it even with my Cessna. Oh my goodness. Even with my Cessna 210 Centurion, but TBM, it's much more sensible speed than for the Centurion, even despite it's a turbo. Oh, kitten. I wasn't on the beta. Yeah, Magical. I tried explain 1132 beta, and the first thing I noticed is that even with the Active Sky XP, it had no winds aloft, only surface winds. So I just went ahead and rolled back to the release 1131, and I was really hesitant. I even okay, I'll put it this way. My anxiety actually betted on this, betted $10 on the fact that this still gonna be broken in 1132 release. It seems that it actually isn't. The winds aloft seem to be working. So my anxiety lost me $10, so it's now supposed to buy me something nice. But either way, honestly, I don't notice any problems that I haven't noticed before. So at least it's no more broken than it was before. Hey, M4 Tech, welcome to the stream. Excuse me, what? What's going on? Jackson Center. Yeah, it's normal broken. This is what a sim life exactly is. Okay, Jacksonville Center says they went online. Indianapolis, Washington DC, Atlanta. Where the hell are they? I think it's somewhere here. Like, yeah, Jacksonville, Northern Florida. Northern Florida, Southern Florida, and Southern Georgia. And oh my god. Why did they go on voice for Unicom? That's honestly the weirdest thing ever. Yeah, sorry guys, not much in the terms of visibility right now. And I think I'm actually gonna turn on the terrain display. Oh, it is already turned on. Electrical systems are on. This seems to be alright. This is gonna be our approach to KBFL. Let's pick up the inches for this. Should already receive. Yeah, I must say I don't see any problems with the 1132 R2. Yes, I'm for Kitek. This is actually what I'm experiencing now too, and I dare to say that it's safe to update, because TBM is actually quite a good indicator, since it's using quite a lot of the explained features documented or not very. It's really heavy on the resource usage. It's it's really easily broken, and I think that if TBM isn't broken, then it's safe to update that most of the planes should work fine with it. I didn't try 1131 for Kitek. I mean, I didn't try 1131 R1. I think the actual release was something like R3, release candidate 3, and the release 31. Well, it did broke some things, but not completely. I mean, the TBM related crash actually was because Laminar Research added some added an additional integrity check in the nav data, and after the since this integrity check didn't go through, since the integrity check returned the exception, the explain was basically stopped with an error. The thing is, this integrity check is essentially a good thing, and the fact that TBM wasn't employing it before says that I mean, I can imagine that be some kind of thing that easily could be overlooked, but I'd say that's not Laminar Research's fault. It's not completely Laminar Research fault. After all, it's Hotstart who are making the model for explain, and not the other way around. Also, quite a lot of planes were quite quickly updated for 1131, and yeah, it should be better with it's now relatively stable. Yeah, Vulkan should help quite a bit, especially on the CPU usage. Everyone is waiting for it now. Everyone is hoping for it to bring something really cool. But I'm not sure how much there is of the actual hopes, and how much of the magical thinking. But yeah, it should be at least quite better than what we have now. Okay, let's pick up our weather now for the destination. Com 2 25.
Kilo Bravo Lima Foxtrot Airport information Alpha 2252 Zulu weather wind 298 at 11 gusting to 15 visibility 10
298, 300 basically.
200 broken ceiling 2600 overcast temperature -6 dew point -9er altimeter 29er advise on initial contact that you have information Alpha
2999.
Kilo Bravo
2999. Wind around 300, which makes the runway 23 a good choice. Visibility and the ceiling are generally VFR. I mean, they are generally VFR, or more like SVFR, but we still can. It will still make sense to do an instrumental approach in there. So yeah, let's see what we can do here. Airports. Hold on. Interestingly, Atlanta Center just went online. So would make sense to try to keep a bit out of their airspace, just not to cause any troubles. Anyway, landing field elevation is 2855, so we can take traffic pattern at 3,000, 4,000, 4,100, and let's descend to 5,000. Actually, let's descend to 4,000 because it should be below the ceiling, and that should give us a better outlook on the descent. Height level change, minimum torque, 0 works. Oh my goodness, falling from the skies. Still no icing. That's a good thing, I guess. No need in the ice light actually. Enable pulse lights, taxi lights. Okay. We don't need to actually do the traffic advisory callouts, because this is no one else is basically around. And here we are below the clouds. Back to 40% of torque. Synchronize heading. Switch back to heading mode. Alright. Mm-hmm. This town of Princeton, and here's Mercer County. It looks like this beacon out there is our airfield. Come on. Yep, cloud reloads never change. Oh my. That I didn't expect. My goodness. Any changes?
Kilo Bravo Lima Foxtrot Airport information Delta 2252 Zulu weather wind 298 at 11 gusting to 15 visibility 10 sky condition ceiling 1600 broken ceiling 2400 overcast
We're back.
-6 dew point -9 altimeter 2999 advise on initial contact. You have information Delta.
Okay, guess we're good. Okay, let's get us. Let's get us some guidance for the runway. Runway is gonna be 23. Cruise 230 or something like that. We have set the way very well. Traffic pattern is gonna be left, I guess. Yep, left. Let's see. Autopilot off. And let's join the downwind. This is not gonna really be a correct way to do it, but we actually can. Oh well. Flaps to takeoff position. Oh. Oh. 30-degree bank, which is the actual correct bank for the traffic patterns. Oh my goodness. Now this is bad. We don't want to get into clouds on a visual approach. And we ended up on a perfectly correct downwind, which honestly surprised me. 120. We can extend flaps to landing.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
Yeah, okay.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
Landing gear.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
Here's your landing gear. Blinking lights on. Okay. That's our cross. It's our base turn. And I think we will just continue into the final. Yep. Here we are. No. Could we just... Okay. Here's the wrong way. My goodness. This is a
500.
If you think this is not a stable approach, trust me, in general aviation it is sometimes worse. Also we have 20 knots crosswind, so that's kinda it.
Airspeed.
Oh my goodness. Into the reverse. Oh my goodness, 12 knots crosswind. This is just ridiculous. Okay guys, welcome to Bluefield, West Virginia. So okay, let's turn our stuff back to taxi. things. Thumbs up. Rudder. Take off. Streams. And back for takeoff. And all the de-icing system go off. That actually looks like a ramp, so let's go ahead and just park anywhere. This parking spot looks nice. Perfect. Flight tunnel. Oh, trust me, Foki Tech. It was worse a couple of days ago, and literally everywhere. Japan, Moscow, Russia, East Coast, West Coast. It was just horrible everywhere. Even on Hawaii, it was really bad. Only in Florida it was actually somewhat sunny, but winds were gusting to 25 knots, so still I'd say questionable. Okay. This stuff is off. Leads and RC is off. What about other stuff? Fuel cut off. Inertial separator off. Light off. And basically secure the plane. It's off. Easy there. Ignition auto. Boost pump off. Fuel selector off. Autopilot trims off. And we have landed. Hit the button. Chucks. And final lights off. And everything else goes off. So guys, what can I say? At least it seems that explain 1132 is actually stable enough, which has had a fairly successful flight with the TBM 900, which, as we all know, is really sensitive to the updates and to any changes in the base simulator. It's we had about the same frame rates as we had before, so yeah, I think it's fairly safe to update to 1132. Anyway, thanks to everyone who was with me on this short stream. If you liked it, if you liked it, just hit the follow to see when I go online anytime. Also, I have a couple of videos on demand available on Twitch and the full archive on YouTube in the links below. And thanks for flying with me, and have a good evening.